Hey folks, Craig Bielik with Junction City Today. How you doing? We haven't seen you guys very much lately because we've been on hiatus, as pretty much everything has been on hiatus for more than a year now. I am lucky today to be joined by two guests that are going to talk a little bit about life coaching, personal improvement. They're going to share their stories to the extent of the time that we have. And so I would like you guys to welcome, boom, right here in the middle. This is Mark Maynard. Mark, describe what your job is again. Tell me what your title is.
So I have titled myself a life improvement specialist.
Okay.
And this comes from my experiences, what I've been through, what I've experienced, what I did to overcome those, and that's my gift. So now I want to turn around, share what I've learned, and continue to keep learning as I go.
That's cool. That's cool. We're going to hear a lot more about that too. And then on the far other side here, I was going to say right or left, but I'm not sure how you guys are viewing this, but this is LaTroy Woods. And LaTroy, tell us about yourself just a little.
So I came here because my dad was in the Army. Yeah. And so back when the DDO was still active, it's still active base, that's how long I've been here. I finally accepted as one of my homes, the mountain screw on me. Oh. And so I actually run a broadcast right down the street from here. Fed by Raven's Little Cloud Media. You may know him, Joseph Carey.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Now he's going to be all he's my best friend. What are you talking about?
So I do a broadcast there called The Way to the Top.
Okay.
So it's about the premise of it's not about getting to the top, but all the magic in life happens on the way to the top. And so once you understand what that process is, not an outside process, but an inside, that's where all the stuff happens. And once you learn that, you can apply it to other areas of your life. Yeah. I do stuff with Mark here. We met online through COVID. And we actually just met in person just 4 or 5 days ago. And so something was on our hearts to create something, to find that purpose and that intention that we're all looking for, that best version of our life. And then I do other things throughout the community I figured out I didn't need permission to do the thing I wanted to do in life. And so through these platforms of the broadcast, the podcast, working with Mark and doing coaching, helping people become the best versions of themselves by leading myself first and then extending that to myself and the community.
Wow. We got a lot to talk about. So you are a native of Ogden, but you're from New Hampshire.
Yes, I am originally from Manchester, New Hampshire.
Okay.
And I've lived there my whole life, and I moved a little further north. So now I'm in the Lakes region, central New Hampshire, a little town called Northfield.
Awesome. Well, let's just jump in, okay? I'm just going to ask you like a dumb question, okay? Because I'm really good at it. I'm really good at dumb questions. What is life coaching, personal improvement, and how does a person know that they need it? I mean, all of us can improve. All of us can improve. Some of us can improve a whole lot. Talking to you, Farrell. That's the other host. That's the other host of this show. It would have been great to have Farrell here. In fact, we've got to get back here with Farrell. But what is it you guys do?
Go ahead and start.
So let me start off by just defining what a coach is. There's a lot of sometimes negative connotation around the word coach, but as I begin to find the root cause, the root definition, meaning of the word, it means someone who takes someone who valued, which is everybody, you, me, Mark, everybody's valued, to walk with them from where they are to where they're going. We all can't get to where we're going without help. Mm-hmm. A person who says they don't need help is lying to themselves. The sooner you realize you need people are the dots in our life that gets us to where we are, not the things we do, the sooner we could get to where we're going. So this could be in finances, fitness, personal growth, be anything, but you need people to help you get there.
Do you have people come to you with a specific request? You know, they say like, I need to get this promotion. I need to get along better with my wife. I need to, learn how to sing, something like that. Do they come to you with that specific, or do they come to you and say, I just feel kind of lost and I want to do something and I don't know what it is?
Well, personally, the people that I've spoken with has been quite a broad spectrum of things that they'll come with. There are people that want to just lose weight. I feel like I keep losing and finding the same 50 pounds over and over and over again. Yeah. they might come with that. Currently, I'm working with a client who's an athlete, and he has a goal set to be number one in his position at what he plays in.
Wow.
Which is fantastic. And then there are the people that say, my whole life seems a little bit chaotic, and I want to find some direction, some purpose to my life. And what we've realized as in our life, which what led us to coaching, was that it kind of is all the same thing. It's all energy. And that's part of the teachings and the mentors that I follow, that there's a lot more simplicity to it than people think.
Wow.
And honestly, there is, if you'll give me a little leeway here, there's love and there's fear. Yeah. But they can't exist in the same space at the same time.
Yeah, that's why Farrell and I are never on this podcast. I'm just going to insult Farrell through the whole thing. Well, that's interesting, and it seems to me, but I mean, how do you deal with like the regular challenges? Okay, like I'm sure this athlete has a lot of challenges.
Absolutely.
But I'll bet people come to you and say, I want to do this, but I got 4 kids at home right now, and they're in elementary school, and my husband or I don't make a lot of money, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. How do you deal with those very real, barriers?
I think you have to see them in yourselves first. Before you can lead anybody, you've had to have led yourself to that place. So some of the things we could talk about is facing your pain, facing yourself. People can't save you because the things you're going through are inside of here. So the only way that you can help yourself, your family, the community, the country, is you have to lead yourself through self-leadership first. And so it's learning about these things, learning that these are safe things. We don't talk about these things growing up. We talk about how to spend money, but we don't talk about how to make it, right? We talk about how to do the outside, but not the inside, the feelings, the emotions, the thoughts, the things that are with us when we lay down every night. And so it's walking people through those things that you might not realize, but helping them to realize their lies, bringing them back to their truth, which is themselves. We all are going to have this conversation at some point in our life. Why not have it now and make things better instead of when death is knocking at the door?
Yeah. I imagine this process takes time. I mean, this isn't something you can do with somebody in half an hour, right?
Well, again, everything's energy. So
and everybody's different.
Yeah, and everybody's different, exactly. Yeah. We're as unique as a thumbprint. And because everybody's different, you might think we have to have a different answer for everybody. But the interesting thing is, even though we're all unique, we all operate the same way. So what my mentor showed me is that there are systems here that are based in science, that if we align ourselves with those scientific laws and understand it a little deeper, then we can make some pretty aggressive changes. So I want to offer you a comparison thought. You mentioned money. That's a great one. Everybody wants more money, right? And how can I afford that? That's a very common question, isn't it? Well, my mentors would say, instead of coming with the restricted push energy of how can I afford that, which feels like I can't, what if we asked, what could I do to afford that?
Oh, okay.
You feel the difference.
What changes
what could I do to make more money?
Yeah.
And that makes the mind start looking for the way to get the money rather than I just don't see a way.
Right.
So you see, we can apply that in so many areas.
How can I get the money? Armed robbery.
True story?
Absolutely not. I am not advocating that in any way.
Right.
How did you come to this, Troy? I mean, did you, in elementary school, were you like in the class and one kid said, I want to be a fireman, and the other kid, I want to be a policeman, I want to be a life coach?
It was shown to me. I remember growing up in the military, we moved every 2 to 4 years. We were in Colorado. I was probably still in elementary school at the time, 9 or 10 years old. And I remember sitting in my room with my journals and my books and getting lost.
Wait a minute, you had journals when you were 9
I had
10
journals,
years old?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you are remarkable. I mean, I couldn't make a mud pie when I was 9 years old, but you're journaling?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I think we all have that something. That's what we're looking for always. What do I want to be when I grow up? That's the question. Like, that thing, what is that thing that's going to bring fulfillment to myself and the rest of the world? That's the thing we're seeking. That's the motivation, the motive to what we do every day. We're all looking for validation and love, but it's coming from here. It's the self-love that we're actually looking for. And so mine, if I were to be transparent, came through an experience with suicide.
Wow.
Which the state of Utah suffers greatly with that conversation. We're almost at the bottom of the barrel in the nation when it comes to suicide. Mental health, we're at the bottom of the barrel. That's when the truth was shown to me that the world isn't out here. Because I was chasing the corporate ladder, trying to get the nice home, all the outside stuff. And there was something missing at the end of the day, always. I wasn't following my passion. I wasn't being true to myself. That's when I began to realize to myself that this is where everything is happening. The world isn't here. And when I began to commit to myself, everything changed instantaneously overnight.
Just like that. Wow. And so you could see a path. You had like a vision and...
Yes, I call it God.
Yeah.
God spoke to me.
Yeah.
And so I began to commit not to my understanding, but to God's understanding. And as I began to do that, things were shown to me. My awareness began to grow in levels that I couldn't have done otherwise. Because there's no answers out here. You get stuff, but there's something still missing. Because I was disconnected with myself.
Yeah. Before we go any farther, I want to make sure we get your website up here online or on the screen there, so that because as you can tell, this guy's a deep guy. Both of these guys are, and you're going to need way more conversation than what Craig can provide you right here. But here's the website and a good place to start, so that you can get to know these guys better, and perhaps they can get to know you also on that. What are say the top 3 most common things people come to you for?
I'll let Mark answer this. Before we continue, though, I usually always say to start off every conversation with intention. We'll be here is to promote yourself when your voice opens to bring value to people.
Okay.
But to give gratitude. So I got to send my gratitude to you for allowing us to be here today. So.
I'm thankful to you. Here's my gratitude for you guys, because I don't have to work right now. I can goof off and be on TV. Not at all. Thank you. That's very nice. And I'm a big believer in gratitude. I can't even tell you how many people I thank every single day and all that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So what do people want? What are the more common things? I mean, love? Are they relationship advice?
Absolutely. A lot of people are searching for answers to difficulties in those categories. And a lot of times it's not what you would think, that, or at least from my experience, that it's not so much significant others, but it's sisters, it's parents.
Oh, yeah.
It's children.
That's all in the circle.
Exactly. And a lot of that is, how do I deal with this? There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of restriction. That's a very common one. Obviously, money. Money's always a big topic for everyone, and that is a fantastic topic. One of the ones I spend a lot of time on is understanding the energy of money and my perception of it. As he says, it's all an inside game, so my perception is going to define how I relate to those topics. So the third one, I was thinking about this, I would say the third one is that personal career, that target. Here's what I want to accomplish in my career, in my life. And one of the things I really want to add to this is that, again, I said it's a lot simpler in my understanding that it's all energy, and that each and every one of these topics, when I look at it now, I see energy transfer. I look at things as in, are we coming in an upward creative way, or are we coming in a restricted negative way?
Wow.
And that is really how I do my coaching, is I look at the energy transfer. Energy is always transmuting, and what we focus on, we find. So those topics, very common topics, I use the same exact energy transfer principles to coach each one of them.
To get that sort of, this is for you now.
It's,
it's way different than it was 20 years ago. And everybody's got, social media accounts and Instagram, and here's my picture. I just went and did 500 things, and, and then somebody else sees it. Well, I didn't do those 500 things, there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. Do you think that our culture, our sort of, I'm just going to say, obsessed with me culture at this point. Do you think that is harmful, or is it just the way it is, and is it a tool that you can use?
I think it's a lack of awareness, because you can't be aware of what you're not aware of. And so until you focus on you and what you're aware of is possible, leaving possibilities open, not to cut off that tie of, I can do this. This is possible for myself. That it's not out here, it's not people, and it's not things that actually bring us opportunity, but it's who do I need to become. It's always that. You level up in life or in business or in your career, When you level up, you begin to meet that level of where you're trying to get to. There's no other way to success. You could get the stuff, but the stuff doesn't equal success. That's an outside idea, society's idea of what it's supposed to look like. You can see all the chaos in the news, right? Everybody gets the stuff, but they're doing dumb stuff still because there's something lacking. You're disconnected with yourself still. So I think it's through awareness, it's having real conversations with real people, so then that you could bring to surface what's inside that needs to be dealt with. So then pain is very valuable, very valuable. You got fear, very valuable once you understand what it is. You begin to face yourself so that you can pull that dagger out that's been there the whole time. So it opens up your awareness and you become the best version. So it's just taking a step every day is all it is.
Yeah.
Let me just take a step. Let me win today so I can win tomorrow. Just take it simple, not overcomplicate the mind with anything. But what can I do to live my best life today and become the best person that I can today? That's it. We're about tomorrow when tomorrow shows up.
Oh, that's great. As you can tell, we could spend a couple hours chatting with you guys. I mean, and easily do it, but we need to keep this short. So let's get your website up there one more time. These two guys, I'm telling you, I'm feeling the energy right now, and I really can feel it. And if you are looking for some help, please let LaTroy or Mark just at least talk to them and see what they can do for you. And I'm going to spend probably about the next 7 hours sitting here in the chair while they try to help me, which is pretty much a lost cause. But I am Craig Bielik, and I am your host for Junction City Today. It's great to be back with you folks. We're going to have these guys back on. We'll get them both on here, and we'll talk a little deeper, a little more specifically. But for right now, I just want to thank Mark Maynard and LaTroy Woods, who I keep calling either LaTroy or Troy. It's kind of back and forth, you know.
Either way, because we go by all of it. Call whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you guys for being on our show today, and I'm sure people have got quite a bit out of this. More information is right there. Craig Bielik, we'll see you next time on Junction City Today. Until then, work on yourself. Get those daggers out. Come on, pull them out. Pull them out. Julius Caesar got like 9,000 of them right now. That's how it's going. Julius, pull those daggers out. Get them out, man. See you guys later.